my money like Venmo. This music don't work out. I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Cook. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, Allen. The throw on target. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Well, this defense for the Bills, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Fourth down, here's Wilson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And that will force a turnover on downs. Allen off the play fake. This is caught inside the 15. A big play here for Buffalo, and even 40 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Bills get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Bills are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd and 7, Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They run the counter with Cook. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Eluding the pressure right. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Open man is Uzama. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Now Wilson on first down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Gregory Rousseau able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
After the sack on first down, Wilson. Catch made here by Campbell. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here we go.
A good chance. This is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They go play action now. Wilson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he's got some space here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down and 4, Wilson. Man open is Robinson. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 30. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. That ball caught by Campbell. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Flush to his right. That is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. He's got it. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Ready, ready.
They'll go for it and run a little touch pass here. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. The trick play does not pan out here on 4th and goal. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get them the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll give to Cook on the read option. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Here's Allen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And here comes Berrios. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson.
He's got the hookup downfield to Samuel.
Touchdown, Jets. Curtis Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Fields it right around the goal line.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39, so solid starting field position. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Allen. And Diggs has it.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Throwing now is Allen. It's complete to Diggs. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To the air, Allen. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long. And this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Allen. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline. This is always a tricky angle for a right-footed kicker because he's trying to draw it to the center of the uprights, but instead he pushes it to the right, and it's no good.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Now it's Wilson. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. The 20. And he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds.
You know, we always talk about the chess match in a football game, but we're usually talking about offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. How about the special teams coaches? I think we just saw a big-time adjustment by one to help his team get a spark to start the second half.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Von Miller, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Completes it to Samuel. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzomah.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Bills are going to get the football back. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
They start the drive with Cook.
And a short pickup to about the 25.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On play action, Allen. He's going to let this one go deep.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Throwing is Allen on third. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Running off tackle with Cook. They find some open field here. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's out wide here for Robinson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. There he goes right side. And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick-6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Option play. Here's Cook. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
Now here's the option play going left. Shoves him away, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Allen going to fire quickly and get it to Diggs out wide.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 8 now. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Middle.
Allen now looks to throw.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Going to look deep for Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. Bravo!
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And now here is another interception.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox, 26 yards.
And the Bills add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Ready.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Got it.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Again, Wilson.
Checks this one down to Robinson.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Brings up 2nd and 1. That's a 45-yard line.
To throw again on second down. Wilson, and this one's incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he's taken down at the 43, but now the Ford picking up the first. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Wilson to throw. Catch made here by Campbell.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Bills will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now on 2nd and 13. Allen.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case.
And now here is another interception.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw going to be caught by McKenzie.
Allen's pass complete to Isaiah McKenzie. A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Bills.
So Allen's going to look to throw. Flushed out right. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Allen.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
The kick by Bass is good.
And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Red. Charlie. Delta.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Is actually going to throw it here. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bills, they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the